personal application to the President, or if the President shall not act on such application within 60 days, the claimant may, within 6 months after end of the war, institute a suit in equity to establish the interest, right, title, or debt so claimed. Such suit shall be instituted in the District Court of the United States for the district in which the claimant resides. Or if the claimant is a corporation, the suit shall be instituted in the district where such corporation has its principal place of business. The property or money claimed shall be held by the custodian until final decree is entered and satisfied by payment, or until the suit is otherwise terminated, except as provided in the law. The money or property paid to the custodian shall not be liable to lien, attachment, garnishment, trustee process, or execution, nor shall it be subject to any order or decree of any court, but money paid to the custodian and deposited in the Treasury of the United States as a trust fund for the payment of an enemy or ally of enemy owner of the letters, patent, or trademark, print, label, or copyright registration used by a citizen of the United States under the license from the President may be distributed by order of the court. Section 9. Enemy may sue or defend. An enemy or ally of enemy licensed hereunder may bring suit if the basis thereof originated in business transacted within the United States under such license, and similarly, okay, I can't even pronounce that word right now. Sorry. Similarly, I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying. I don't know why I can't pronounce that word right now. Defend a suit brought against him. Section 7B. Notice from President a defense. Notice from the President that he believes a person asserting a claim in law or equity is an enemy or ally of enemy shall operate as a prima facie defense to such suit. Section 7B. Statute of limitation suspended. The running of any statute of limitation shall be suspended with reference to the rights or remedies on any contract entered into prior to the beginning of the war between parties, neither of whom is an enemy or ally of enemy, the terms of which provide for payment of money evidenced by commercial paper drawn against or secured by funds or properties situated in an enemy or ally of enemy country. No suit shall be maintained on any such contract in the United States until after the end of the war, or until such funds or property shall be released for payment or for satisfaction of such contract. This provision shall not be construed to prevent the suspension of the running of any statute of limitation in cases where such suspension would occur under existing law. Section 8C. Settlement of claims. After the end of the war, any claim of an enemy or ally of enemy to the money or other property held by the custodian or deposited in the United States Treasury shall be settled as Congress shall direct, except that on order of the President or of the court as provided in this act, the custodian or the treasurer of the United States shall convey or pay to any person to whom the President shall order or in whose behalf a final judgment or decree shall be entered, money or property of an enemy or ally of an enemy held by the custodian or the treasurer of the United States. The treasurer of the United States, on order of the custodian, shall repay to the licensee of any patent, trademark, or copyright any funds deposited by said licensee. Section 12. Statements for collectors of customs. Statements by master of ship and owners, shippers of consignors of cargoes. The master or the person in charge of any vessel before departure of such vessel from port shall deliver to the collector of customs of the district wherein such vessel is located a statement duly verified under oath that the cargo is not shipped or to be delivered in violation of the law. The owner, shipper, or consignor of the cargo of such vessel shall in like manner deliver to the collector a similar statement as to the cargo or parts thereof shipped by them, which statement shall contain the name, and addresses of the actual co-signees, or if a shipment is made to a bank or other factor, the names and addresses of the persons who are the actual co-signees. Copies of these statements shall be delivered to the American consular office at the port of destination of the cargo by the master or person in control of the vessel. Section 13. Refusal of clearance of vessel. Whenever there is reasonable cause to believe that the manifest or statement is false, or that the vessel is about to carry any property to or for the account of an enemy or ally of enemy, the collector of customs, subject to review by the president, may refuse clearance to any vessel for which clearance is required by law, and by formal notice served upon the owner or person in command or in charge of any domestic vessel for which clearance is not required by law, may forbid the departure of such vessel from port. Section 14. Report of export of coin or bullion. When any cargo intended for export contains gold coin, silver coin, bullion, or other monies of the United States, the collector of customs shall report to the president the amount thereof, with names of the trustees, co-signers, and co-signees, and any other facts known to the collector, particularly those which may indicate that the shipment may be intended for delivery to an enemy or ally of enemy. Section 14. What am I reading? I'm reading Trading with Enemy Act book. Patents, trademarks, and copyrights. Prosecution of applications. An enemy or ally of enemy may file and prosecute in the United States an application for a patent or for registration of a trademark, print, label, or copyright, and pay any fee required by law, including attorney's fees, if an enemy or ally of enemy is unable during the war or within 6 months thereafter, on account of conditions arising out of the war, to file such application or to pay any official fee required by law within the prescribed period. He may be granted an extension of 9 months beyond the expiration of such period, provided the nation of which such applicant is a citizen or subject extends similar privileges to citizens of the United States. Section 10A. Any citizen of the United States or any corporation organized within the United States, when duly authorized by the president, is permitted to pay to an enemy or ally of enemy any tax, annuity, or fee which may be required by the laws pertaining to patents, trademarks, and copyrights of such enemy or ally of enemy nation. Any citizen or corporation may file and prosecute an application for patent or registration of trademark or copyright in the country of an enemy or ally of enemy after first receiving a license from the president, and may pay the fees required by the law and agent fees, the amount of which shall be subject to the control of the president. Section 10B. Use of patent, trademark, or copyright owned by enemy or ally of enemy. Permission to manufacture under patent or use of any trademark or copyright owned or controlled by an enemy or ally of enemy during the existence of the war may be granted under license issued by the president. He may prescribe the conditions of the license, including the fixing of prices of articles and products necessary to the health of the military and naval forces of the United States in successful prosecution of the war, and the rules under which it may be granted, and the fee which shall be charged therefore. Section 10C. The licensee shall render at stated periods, at least annually, to the president a statement of the extent of the use of the license and the prices received, and shall pay to the alien property custodian an amount not to exceed 5 centum of the gross sums received from the use of such inventions, trademarks, or copyrighted matter, or 5 per centum of the value of the use of such inventions, trademarks, or copyrighted matter. If so ordered by the president, the amount paid shall be deposited by the custodian with the Treasurer of the United States as a trust fund for the licensee or for the owner of the patent, trademark, or copyright. Section 10D. Licenses will continue during the term fixed in the license or in the absence of a limitation during the term of the patent or copyright. Section 10E. For the violation of these provisions or of the conditions of the license, the President, after due notice and hearing, may cancel any license. Section 10E. Invention against public safety kept secret. If the President is of the opinion that the publication of an invention through grant of a patent may endure the public safety or assist the enemy, he may order that such invention be kept secret and patent be withheld until the end of the war. If it is established that application for such a patent has been filed in any other country or such invention published without the consent of the Commissioner of Patents or a license of the President, such invention may be held abandoned. Section 10I. Powers of attorney. Powers of attorney heretofore or hereafter given by an enemy or ally of an enemy to any person in the United States in so far as the same may be necessary in the prosecution of an application for a patent or the registration of a trademark or copyright or the maintenance of a suit against a person other than a license to restrain infringement are valid. Section 10G. Remedies of enemy and ally of enemy owners of patents and copyrights. Suits against licensee. An owner of a patent or copyright may, within 1 year after the end of the war, file a bill in equity against the licensee in the United States District Court for the district in which the licensee resides, or if... Hey, thanks, Teresa. How are you doing? Appreciate it. In the United States District Court for the district in which the licensee resides, or if a corporation in which it has its principal place of business, for recovery from a licensee for all use and enjoyment of his patent, trademark, or copyright. The Treasurer of the United States shall be made a party to the suit, and the custodian shall receive notice thereof within 30 days after its entry. The licensee shall be entitled to make any and all defenses to such suit which would be available were no licenses granted. Section 10F. If judgment is rendered for the payment of royalty, the same shall be satisfied so far as possible by the fund which has been paid to the custodian by the licensee. If any balance is left, the same shall be returned to the licensee. Section 10F. If no suit is brought against the licensee within 1 year after the termination of the war, all funds deposited by the licensee shall be returned. After entry of suit or repayment of funds, the licensee shall not be required to make further reports to the President. Section 10F. If suit is brought, the court may terminate the license and in such event may restrain infringement thereafter, or may continue the license for a stated period which such royalties as it may find just and reasonable. Section 10F. Suits against others than licensee. The owner of a patent or copyright may institute and prosecute suits in equity against any person other than a licensee to enjoin the infringement of patents and copyrights in the same manner and to the same extent as if the United States were not at war. Final judgment in such suit in favor of any enemy or ally of enemy shall not be entered except upon 30 days notice to the custodian. Section 10G. Suspension of provision relating to ally of enemy by President. The President may by proclamation suspend the provisions of the act so far as they may apply or relate to an ally of enemy. Section 5A. Publications in foreign language. The publication or circulation in any foreign language or any news item or comment respecting the United States or any nation engaged in the present war or their policies or international regulations shall not be permitted unless the publisher files with the postmaster at the place of publication a complete translation of the entire article in the English language. This translation shall be made under oath, and the article published shall be accompanied by the statement showing that a true translation has been filed, giving the name of the post office. Publications in any foreign language failing to comply with the above regulation shall not be admitted to the mails, and their distribution in any other matter is declared unlawful. For a false statement in the affidavit in connection with translation aforementioned, the affiant shall be punishable for perjury. Censorship established. If the president deems it expedient, he may cause to be censored communications by mail, cable, radio, or other means between this and any other country specified by him. Attempts at evasion or concealment from such censorship shall be punishable by a fine of not more than $10,000 or imprisonment for not more than 10 years, or both. Section 3D. President may prohibit imports. During the war, it shall be unlawful to import into the United States any article or articles from any country of which the president shall make proclamation except as ordered by him. Section 11. Penalty for violation. Violation of the provisions of this law or of any license, rule, or regulation thereunder shall be punishable by the fine of not more than $10,000, or if the offender is an individual, by imprisonment for not more than 10 years, or both. The officer, director, or agent of any corporation who knowingly participates in such violation shall be punished by a like fine, imprisonment, or both. Any property or any vessel concerned in such violation shall be forfeited in the United States. Section 16. Jurisdiction of district courts. The district courts of the United States are given jurisdiction to issue all orders and decrees which may be necessary and proper to enforce the provisions of law with right to appeal as prescribed by law. Section 17. The several courts of first instance in the Philippine Islands and the District Court of the Canal Zone have jurisdiction of offenses under this law committed within their respective districts, and concurrent jurisdiction with the District Courts of the United States of offenses under the law committed on the high seas. Section 18. And I'm going to just pause for a moment. I'm going to save this video. I will be right back.